Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the gun simulation tutorial. If you missed the last part, I basically showed how to do this. And in this part, this will be the Octane tutorial, me texturing and creating the scene. So it looks like this with, if I render it, you'll see. So we'll get into that. I'm basically going to recreate the same scene because, well, the tutorial is based on this scene. So I want to not mimic it, but do something quite similar to this. So that's what we'll do. I'm going to start off with texturing the gun, and then we'll get into lighting and all that. So let's get right into it. Now I'm going to rearrange my camera a bit here, just to start off. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to get rid of all our materials, and I'm just going to create a new Octane material. What we'll call this, oh right, I tell you what we'll do, I didn't do this, we'll call this slide. If you did follow last tutorial and you're doing the whole thing, then I can tell you you'll have a really nice result by the end of this. Trigger, body, we'll call this, we'll do slide first, so slide. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to drag and drop these in to save me having to find these, the textures. Just makes life a little easier because I don't know where they're buried in my computer. So what we want here is the diffuse for, what was this, the 45mm gun. Here we go. What's the difference between these? Is that the bullet? Is that the gun? Here we go. Now I don't know what normal maps are here, but there is some, which makes life better. Praise you, Andrew Kramer. I suppose I could just make my own, but we don't want to do that. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's not an image texture. And of course we'll make this glossy. That's not an image texture either. Oh, nasty. See, that's a bad thing. If you're going to drag stuff in, you have to click into it. Otherwise, it just, oh, there's all these, oh, okay, cool. So let's put this on the slide. Now I believe we can just do that. So, we'll just call this gun, no need for that. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to add in those fingerprints. But before I do that, I want to set up my lighting. So HDR environment. Now I messed with this HDRI a little while back, and oh my god, it looked amazing in the scene. So let's grab, it's this one. It made the gun look absolutely amazing. Look at that, it's brilliant. And it's like a nighttime HDRI, so it suits as well. But now let's add these fingerprints. These are free from Polygon, so you can go get them there. No smudges, fingerprints, there we go. So you can see the fingerprints there, they look really nice. They're probably a bit big right now. Okay, yeah, you see that now, that looks really nice. Zoom back out, see how that looks. Okay, I like it a lot. I'm gonna set up my camera here. If I'll do that after we bring in our puddles. So the puddle texture, here it is. here's our puddle texture. We'll bring this back into our scene. Now, I did try the scene on path tracing and it didn't really look any different, so I guess you can get away with it in direct lighting. But if we go into this, now I do not want to take credit for this because I used the tutorial, which I will link. Now the tutorial, he used this texture, this cracked concrete from Polygon. It's free. It's one of the free textures, and you just sort of, I guess you could just pause this right now and set this entire thing up yourself. This is the puddle texture, which I will include mine, but in the tutorial he shows you how to make it. So if you want to go more into depth and really understand this, I will link that and you can go check that out, but I'm not going to go over it in this tutorial. But if you want to copy it, there it is, and we're just going to use that here as well. But now I'm going to set up my camera. So we're going to focus on our gun, and we'll maybe use quite a high aperture. Maybe a bit higher, 10. I like that. Camera imager. Maybe try linear. So that's 0.5. Okay. Now we can make this really blue. I'm gonna try and make it a bit more orange. There we go. Something that looks a bit more cinematic. And bloom. How does that look? Maybe. Maybe we'll add some. I think I might set this to 50mm just to get a bit closer up, more close on the gun. And as you can see, this seems really coming together now. It's looking nice. We've got our fingerprints showing up around the gun. We've got the reflection. Now, I do want to try and sort out this material because I don't know what it's doing, but I don't like the look of it. Maybe it has to be in cubic. Definitely not. But I will sort that out and then I'll be back. Okay, I figured it out. It's just not, it's forgot where my puddle texture is. So we'll fix that. In fact, I think I have this open. Here we go. So here is my puddle texture. I just made it in Photoshop quickly with some brushes and it came out really nicely. If you'd like the load. There you go. And in fact, I think I used some images of it. I cannot remember, but it looks nice. There we go. That's what it should look like. Looks nice. I like it now. We could maybe move this around. We won't move it around like that because it's stupid, but just to see. Oh yeah. Oh, it looks so nice. Whoever came up with that, like honestly, the puddles. Oh, it looks amazing. Maybe I will just leave it like that. I love it, honestly. Right. So, if we, like, play this now. Are those tags not working? No, they should be. Why can I still see you? Oh. Okay. So, maybe... That's really funny because I don't seem to remember using the general visibility. Oh well. Apparently that's how we do it. Turn it on. Turn it on. Right. Wow, there we go. Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. This looks nicer than the last one, definitely. Okay, I'm just trying to make the scene a little bit bigger, make it look like there's more going on. Now I want to try and get a reflection of those buildings, so I'm just gonna twist this around until we get that. There we go. Okay. Now it's quite nice if you have like half the gun lying in the puddle. No, I probably would be better just, of course, moving that around here, but I just, well, I'm doing it this way now, so, okay. You see, now finding where we want this is going to be a pain. I'm going to back up a bit, because I like the way it looked when we started. Like here. That looks nice. I might just keep it there. We're not really finding anything that looks better, but there's not really any reflections. We're just seeing what's going on underneath it. Maybe I'll rotate the HDRI. Okay. This is certainly more alive. Okay, so I kept rotating it and ended up getting something really nice. So I think I'm gonna leave it somewhere about here. Maybe that. I like it a lot where it's at right now. So I'll leave this HDRI if you want to really copy my scene here. Maybe I would suggest if you're trying to improve or you're doing this for a project, then definitely create this scene and then go back and create it again, but make it your own and fluctuate away from the tutorial, because that's how you improve. That's how I learned, that's how other people learn that I know. So try that and it'll help a lot. But now, one thing I'm going to do is, this was suggested to me when I posted this on Reddit, and it was a really, really good idea. And what that was, is we're going to get a light, and we're just going to flip it about. Now, maybe, in fact, no, this is an area light. I think, you know what, I was going to maybe try and do like a cone, but that won't make much of a difference. So if we do this, how does it look better? Might just light our scene really nicely. We're gonna put this kind of just in line with the gun, right? Change our temperature a little bit. And then visibility, camera visibility, shadow visibility. And we'll bring down our power. I can't see it now. I need to see where it's at. Okay. Maybe we take off that. Nah. Now there's too much reflection on right. It's because that's in the reflection. So I'm gonna have to spin this around even more if I want this to work. Maybe have the reflection on the same side. Because it's not like lighting the scene. It's just being reflected. So what I need to do is I need to spin this puddle around. We can't have the puddle there or there, although that does look really nice. We just need to get a solid bit of concrete. As you can see, it's lighting it there. Okay, there we go. Something like that. Looks nice. I'm a bit salty I had to change the way the scene was, but oh well. Shit happens. And now we can probably start making this look a bit nicer. Now, of course, we extend it out. It won't be nice. I'm going to try and keep it quite slipstreamed, I think, maybe. I don't know how much light guns emit when they fire. But I did like add screen flashes and it looked really, really nice. But when I heard of this, I thought, you know, this is really engaging the scene. And this is going to help the scene a lot. Maybe pull it down. Something around there. Looks really nice. Now, let's try animating this. Okay, that doesn't turn the light off. So we'll animate the power. Now, when do we want the gun to fire? We've already got that figured out. So, about here. The light needs to come up here. Don't tell me it's going in another puddle after all that. Something like that. Okay. Right. We'll change it again in a second, but who cares right now. Okay, so yeah, right, I like that. That's where it's at right now. So we'll do 125, we'll set a keyframe, we'll go back a frame, we'll turn it off. Bang. And the gun's coming back down. So, okay, nice. Nice. So we now have. Oh. Now we can see the bullet coming out there. I'm gonna try and have this still going on when that bullet's flying out. Okay, nice. Thank you for that recommendation. I forgot who said that on Reddit, but that looks really nice. So now our scene's looking pretty good. I think the only other thing we really have to do is to add the material for the bullet and the shell. And of course, I'm pretty sure if you're here in the tutorial, you're watching it, you know how we're gonna do this, you know everything. But I'll do it anyway. So right, so now that's done. The scene looks pretty nice. Now at this point I would have rendered it, and it only took a couple hours, and sent it over to After Effects where I done the muzzle flash. There's tons of things you can add to this scene to make it better. You could maybe add some fog, that could look quite nice. You could add quite a lot. You can maybe have like a foot, people screaming in the background, that would be really cool. You really make this scene quite cinematic. I'm gonna try the fog quickly. Oh wow. I don't know why there would be fog like this on a street, but you know. You could probably do something pretty cool out of that. I think that just hazes the scene, takes away his depth, makes it not look as nice. But if you mess with it for ages, I'm sure you can get some nice results. Any smoke or anything, any water ripples, I wanted to do in After Effects because I knew well, not only would it make everything quicker, but it would look much more cleaner, and that's what After Effects is kind of for. So I had the tools at my disposal, I was going to use them. So what I'm going to do now is I will run over my scene in After Effects and just how I did everything. So this is my After Effects scene from the original file. I thought I would show this one just because it's the one I spent more time on, and the tutorial was based on me showing you that previous render. So this was the raw footage I ported in. I've got tons of everything I used was from Action Essentials. I've got tons of stuff here in the project from that. Some of it's like went missing just from when I was moving it into folders and stuff after it was finished. But this is the original scene, and that just came straight out of Cinema 4D and Octane. So I'll just jump straight into the fully edited one. Now I didn't actually like this CC very much, I just wanted it to be really cinematic, so I'll maybe just bring this down a little bit. I don't know why, I'm just not so keen on it now. There we go, something like that is nice. But the first thing I did when I brought it in is I added in motion blur. You can see without it, with it, without it, with it. And that just made such a big difference to the way the scene moves, especially when you can see the shell casing coming out. It really, really helped that come along. And the next thing is I essentially piled tons of muzzle flashes on top of each other, and I kind of made them all start around the same frame, some of them lingering on after. But one of the biggest things which I was really quite fond of is, you see here the way the air is warped, is I just masked it out, so of course it didn't go over the whole screen, and I added this like ripple on an adjustment layer, radius 25, wave speed 1, wave width 35, and it added this wave in the air, and it looked really nice. And I felt like that added to it a lot, because guns do that. And of course I had tons of smoke effects going on. I had this one lingering after. I'm sure we can find one of those. Yeah, here you go, there's one. Just tons of different effects. And if you've got Action Essentials, yeah, that's what I suggest. Just grab tons of them. You can see the names of some of the ones I used here. There was some stuff I had in the scene which I ended up taking out again. It's trial and error though. It's what suits you. Maybe you want it to be like a sci-fi gunshot. Maybe you want it to be much bigger, more kind of sporadic. But yeah, just experiment with it and see what you get. There's not much else to it. I added a water ripple as well, which you can see here as the gun hits bang. You can see the water rippling there. That's just the same thing with the ripple, which came out really nicely. I just masked out the gun and then put that on subtract, so it affects everything outside of the mask, and it added that ripple on the water because I knew, of course, it's landing in water. The water is going to be affected by the way the gun lands, whether that's the reflection. But adding a water simulation is just too much time and would have took way too long, especially when I kind of created this for tutorial purposes in the first place. So that would have just went way out of reach. The color correction, I didn't use bullet looks or anything. I just used some curves, levels, and balance. I don't know if no, I just did the RGB and the levels. Maybe make that a bit lighter, I don't know. It looks nice. And add the black bars. I didn't add any camera movement, any shake or anything. I just thought I would leave it the way it is. But altogether, the project came out quite nice, and of course added sound effects in Sony Vegas. But that's really all there is to the After Effects file. It's just a quick run over so you can see the way I did it. I made some of the layers 3D, some of them weren't. It just depended on the angles they were kind of at, like this smoke here. Is that smoke? Yeah, the smoke. I added some little sparks, like firecracker effects there as well, quite tight on the muzzle. And I did have to keyframe the movement of some of these as well. So they started here, and over the course of like a couple frames, they just sort of moved with the gun, because you can see the gun hits, the bullet goes off about here before the barrel, well, it's already hit the ground once, bounces up, fires, and comes back down. So I just had to move some of them with that. That's easy though. You just do it frame by frame, or not even that, do it from point A to point B. Sometimes frame by frame can get a little jittery and it can jump around, so sometimes, as you can see here, point A to point B. Just I'll delete it just so we can see here. Firecracker in position 1, and then we'll move to where I kind of want it to end, down here. I'll hold shift and I'll highlight them, right click, keyframe assistant, no, ease, and then you can see that it just sort of follows down, that easy. So however your animation is, just toy with that. You don't really have to, if you've got camera movement, then port your camera data, track the scene, do it like that. But I didn't want to have to do all of that for such a 3-second scene that I was just having a bit of fun with. So there you go, that's the After Effects scene. It was really quick. This was a day of work. This original scene took about 3 hours to render. Didn't take long at all. I hope this helped. This tutorial, well, the project was a lot of fun to do. I don't want to try and just mess around with more stuff like this. I think definitely doing something with like a big rifle would be really cool. It would be a pain to animate because there would be a lot of shots, good old 30 shots going off there, maybe even more if I'd done a reload with that. But it came out really nice and I had a lot of fun with it. So experiment. I'd love to see some of the results some people get from this. Thanks for watching. This is thanks for watching this tutorial. I'm probably going to do more of these. I like the more realistic type things. I'm really satisfied with how this has came out. So yeah, thanks. So once again, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other medias, check out my store, all of that, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.